Hello, hello, everyone. And if you are listening, this is actually our first podcast episode of 2023. Woo! Y'all, we made it through 2022. If you
Yeah.
were here, you need to go ahead and just give yourself a high five for making it through last year.
Yes.
Good gracious. So, anyway, we're here though and we are right back to talking to amazing young people who are doing amazing things, making strides in this world. They're not waiting until they're 25, 30, 35 to get started. No, they're getting started now and doing their thing. And we are here for it. So I am so excited for who our guest is today. But before we jump into that, want to welcome everyone back to Teens Biz Podcast. As you can hear, I'm a little stuffy, but you know what? We're still going to do this. So, my name is Tara, also known as Professor B. I am the host of Teens Biz Podcast and just super, super excited to have you all here. We talk to other teen entrepreneurs. We also talk to other business people who are able to offer business tips, resources, and kind of help guide us in the way to avoid some of those business mistakes that they have made. So that is what we are all about. Today's episode is being sponsored by Bateman Empowering Educators. At Bateman Empowering Educators, we take away the trial and error method of your teenager learning about money and entrepreneurship and replace it with a practical blueprint to equip them to create a five-star financial future. So be sure to check below for our links. We do have a new course that's out. It's called Educate Yourself. Let's talk about money. You're going to want your teen grab that because there's all this money talk happening in the news today and they need to know what's going on. So be sure to take a look at that. All right, so we are going to jump right into it with our very special guest today, y'all. I am so excited that she has taken time out of her very busy schedule to come and talk to us today. We have none other than Miss Kiara Michelle. Hello. Miss
Hello.
Miss Kiara Michelle is a blogger and a YouTuber and an author. The name of her book is Forever Friends. She is going to be talking to us about that book and also letting us know is there anything else on the horizon? So stay
Okay.
tuned. Y'all not going to want to miss this. You're not going to want to miss this. How are you today, Kiara?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am well, thank you. I am well. So I do want to jump right into the author aspect. Before we do that, though, usually we have teen entrepreneurs talking about their business. How old are you?
I am 21 years old, but I
Oh,
started when I was about 17.
okay. All right. So I just want to give that disclaimer to our audience and let them know you did get started as a teen, and here you are to share with them parts of your journey.
Yes.
So the book that you wrote, Forever Friends, could you tell us a little bit about that? What's it
Yeah.
about? How it came about?
So this is my book, Forever Friends. I'm so excited about it. I got the idea to write it after starting my blog, and I dealt with a lot of stuff around that time too, with friends and stuff in high school. And I wanted young girls and guys to not have to go through the same struggles that I did back then. So I wanted to write a book for them. But I didn't necessarily have the skill. So I just kept working with the blog, helping that grow, helping build my readers. And then my aunt, who I worked for, who has her own entrepreneurship business, she found a writing coach for me. I started the writing coach process, took about, I want to say, 8 to 9 months to write my book, and then maybe 3 months to publish it. And now we're here.
Awesome. That is great. So, if we can kind of touch on that part a little bit, that you didn't do this whole process like just by yourself, right?
No,
Sometimes
I
in
didn't.
society, it's that, oh, you can learn everything you need, on YouTube. Just go watch it, right? And we're not putting down YouTube University. But what we're saying is, right, we can't always do everything by ourselves. So you had help. You had your aunt to help guide you, and then you had also a writing coach to help
Yes.
guide you. So, what are some ways? do you think other teenpreneurs can find those resources? Like if they don't have that aunt or that mom or dad in their corner that's rooting them on and doing these things, what are some other ways they can find those resources to help them reach their goal?
I say if you can't find them at home in your corner, then look outside the box. If you go to church, talk about what your vision is there. And so then maybe they have connections or go to school. I know plenty of teachers that have other connections that would have been able to help me, but I just never said anything. So say something, talk about it outside of your circle. You never know what connections people have for you.
Very good. Oh, that is great advice. Thank you. Thank you. So, when you were starting this process and you were a teenager and you were in high school, how did you juggle your time management, right, between school and working on this? And I'm sure like there were just other things you wanted to do.
It was hard. It was really just finding whenever I had a free moment, but I also had to make sure it was fun for me. If it was fun for me, then I was willing to spend time on writing, figure out things, and figure out what my peers liked and wanted to read. And it's still like that now.
Okay, great. And is there another book in the work?
There definitely is, and I have decided it's gonna be a sequel to Forever Friends. We're gonna, talk about crushes and boys now.
All right. Very good. Well, our audience, you all heard it here. So be on the lookout for the
Yeah.
sequel. All right. So you mentioned also in terms of you being a blogger and a YouTuber, and those are both responsibilities that also require you to be able to write, right? And to be able to
Mhm.
communicate well.
Yeah.
So, what are some things you would suggest for our other teen entrepreneurs that are listening in terms of how they can build those skills, those communication skills to be effective?
Some good communication skills to be effective. Start journaling. Start journaling every day. So if you can clearly put out your feelings that happen throughout the day on a piece of paper, you'll be able to do anything. But also practice talking to others. Hey, what did you like today? How do you really feel about those shoes? Just really any type of conversation can help. And it actually helped me. At first, I was like, I tried to be a professional writer, like really tried to write like I know what I was talking about. But when it came to my blog, all I had to do was be honest and real about how I felt, and another person could relate to it.
Very good. That is great. Just actually talk to other people and be engaged and ready to hear what they want to talk about. Awesome. So I would imagine when you did start talking to people, or even maybe when your book first came out, people had their opinions or
Mm-hmm.
advice. And, oh, you should do this and you should do that. If you could share with us what was some of the best advice that you received, and then what was some advice that you might have thought you could have kept that?
Some of the best advice is don't sit on this book too long. You want to
Mm-hmm.
keep your fire, your momentum going, keep it up. You don't want to lose all this momentum that you've built. Um, another worst advice. Oh, oh, hmm. I don't think I've received any.
Okay.
Like one that I felt like I didn't need.
Mm-hmm.
Not yet, at least.
Okay.
Pretty
No,
sure we'll get
that's
there along the way.
excuse me. No, that is very good. That
Well,
speaks on such.
actually, I know advice. I just thought about one.
Okay.
And so it's not necessarily advice about my business, but advice about how I should carry myself.
Okay.
Um, the book is actually based off of my real life and personal experiences. So there are real people in the book who are in my life today. And an advice I could have done without was, make sure you tell them about the book. And I did not need that. I did not need that.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, it was good that you were able to persevere in spite of that. And I think that's something that's very important for our other teen entrepreneurs that are listening to, in spite of what people say. And, sometimes they have the best intention for you, sometimes they don't. But if you can
Hmm.
have that knowing within yourself, right, that this is my path,
Absolutely.
this is my goal, this is my dream, this is what I'm working towards, and definitely having on the back end advice of like, don't sit on the book too long, right? So that encouragement to keep taking action, keep moving.
Absolutely.
Before you know it, then voila, you now have a published book. You're an
Yeah.
author.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very good. Well, is there anything else that you have going on that you feel would be helpful for our teen entrepreneurs? I know you said you're also a blogger and a YouTuber.
So yes, being the blog and the YouTube helps me to constantly stay connected with my audience, but help me to stay connected with them to stay connected with me. They always know what I'm up to. I always know what they're up to. It's also another way for me to easily market my book. I have 3 blog posts coming up that discuss like getting to know the characters, because it's easy to kind of get lost in my book. And if I put blog posts out, it encourages them to go buy the book. Another thing that I have coming up, which I actually had that today, I had a merchandising meeting today
Right.
because my YouTube is called Introvertedly Me. And it's all about being who you are, expressing who you are, not being shy, not being quiet, not being afraid that you're too loud of a person. My book is Forever Friends, and now I'm on the journey of just forever be you. And so that's what my merchandising line is going to be called, Forever Be You.
Yes. Yes. I love it. We are here for it.
Yes.
I love the promoting the authenticity, right? The taking up space, and that's okay, right? Because we all have value. We all have something that we're able to contribute. So,
Yeah.
awesome. Very good. Well, was there anything else that we did not talk about that you wanted to?
Um, Other than, go to college,
Okay.
HBCU. Don't be afraid that saying you can't do both. You can definitely do both. You have your challenges at time, but if you find your good support system, you'll be able to do both.
Awesome. I love that. Well, thank you again so much, Miss Kara Michelle, for joining us today and
You're
sharing
welcome.
these great gems. Talked about how she was able to work with a writing coach and just emphasize that we can't do this alone.
Yeah.
There's no way really to reach our goals alone and be successful. We have to have help and either take advantage of the help that's being offered to you or seek help within those places where you regularly are. Also, she talked about a way for us to just be able to move forward and hone in on our skills is to start journaling. Right?
Yes.
Start journaling, taking that time to just share and release whatever that is inside of you. And then just talking to others. I know just with everything that's been happening with the pandemic and social distancing. There
Yeah.
was just a time where we weren't doing that, but things are shifting a little bit. So definitely we want to get back into that routine of
Yeah.
talking to other people, getting to know them, yeah, making those connections, making that community. That's also what I heard is what she's doing, even in her blogging and her YouTube channel, is just creating that community, right?
Yeah.
Giving other people an opportunity to come in and get to know her, and I'm sure that's also an opportunity for our community to get to know each other. All right. And how can people reach you?
You can reach me on Instagram at Kiera Michelle, TikTok Kiera Michelle 5. My blog is World According to Kiera Michelle.wordpress.com. And of course, the YouTube is Introvertedly Me, Kiera Michelle.
Awesome. And for those of you that were not able to write that fast, have no worries. All of those links will be down below. So all you have to do is just scroll down and click on the link. Please be sure to go ahead and follow her. You do not want to miss what is going on. You want to be in the know when the next book drops, when the next merch drops. You want to be there so that you can be a part of what she is doing.
Yeah.
Thank you again. So just before we leave, as I always share at the end of the podcast, I want everyone to remember everything in creation was created with a gift inside of it. That includes you. So go out and share your gift with the world. Until next time.